we've officially made it to Scotland. Morning from Glasgow. We are here for a day before we head out tomorrow on our road trip to the Highlands. So this morning we got some coffee and then now we're gonna check out the Kelvin Grove Gallery and Museum and just did a walk through the city. It actually feels and reminds me a lot of San Francisco where I grew up. And I don't know, it's just got that feel for a city. Like it's pretty relaxed, it's hilly, there's some cool stuff going on. It's hip. We saw some really cool wall art. There's like a whole mural trail here. So anyway, let's go check out this gallery and museum. Super rainy while we were in the museum. We ended up spending about 2 hours there and there's a bunch of cool stuff to see. I actually really appreciated how many exhibits they had talking about like colonialism and racism and how it kind of made Scotland what it is today in the UK. I feel like we don't even have enough of that in the US where we just try to hide a lot of that negative stuff. But in reality, we should be talking about it and talking about how we can do better and like acknowledge that that's how we got to where we were with our wealth and like how we built the nation essentially. So I really have been appreciating that about Scotland so far. They seem to talk about it quite a bit and just it's a part of the narrative and part of the educational system. But anyway, so now we just had some lunch to wait out the rain a little bit and now we're just walking around the University of Glasgow. There's a lot of super cool architecture here, a ton of medieval stuff. I guess this whole university was founded in 1450 or something like that, so very old stuff. Really cool buildings, but yeah, we're just walking around. Cannonballs. We made it to Dumbarton Castle, which is actually a super cool castle tucked into this lava plug, they're calling it. But it's super windy today, so a lot of it is closed, but we're gonna try to just see what we can. Visiting the Scotland Highlands has been on my bucket list for so long, so it was amazing to finally get here and to be here and be driving around. I actually brought this new beanie design to work on while we were here. I thought it would be cool to just have something to knit while we were driving, but also I think it'll be a really great memory to have that this beanie is something I designed while we were traveling around Scotland. And after being away for over a week, my mind was really just starting to clear and have space for creativity and not even thinking about work, but just enjoying the knitting and design process and getting to work on it while we were traveling around. We've made it to the Highlands. Fun facts, I love Outlander and it's so cool to be up here. And I guess if you didn't know, I'm also pretty obsessed with Tudor history, so the whole Mary Queen of Scots thing is really awesome too. I actually minored in history because I was such a nerd about it, but it's just so amazing being up here. We're back in our happy place in the woods, but we're hiking on the Lachan, I don't know how to pronounce it, trail. It's so pretty. You can tell there's a reason why there's such a deep fairy and mystical, magical culture here, because it's so beautiful, and that's exactly what it feels like. Did I hike my knitting up to get a good product shot at the viewpoint? Yes. We are here at the Glenfinnan Viaduct, and it's basically where the train goes by in the Harry Potter movie. It's also a very famous duct, but mainly known for that scene in Harry Potter when the train goes by. And you know, I very much obviously disagree with J.K. Rowling's transphobic views and all that, but Harry Potter just has such a special place in my heart because obviously I am of that age where when Harry was 11, I was 11, and it was like every single year the books came out and I was the same age. And so my friends and I remember we would be like, maybe this year, maybe they were just late with getting our letters to us, and you know, we would go to the midnight book releases and that kind of thing. So just a magical, cool place, and the Highlands are amazing. It's very, very rainy. There's like a little break in the rain right now, but what a day. Tiny little track. Look, there's like a mini version of it right here. just did the little 1 hour hike to the little museum. So cute. It's raining really hard again, so we have about 45 minutes until the train goes by, so I think we're gonna wait to watch it. We're just gonna wait here so we're under something instead of waiting in the rain, but I'm just gonna knit my hat and maybe finish it. Viewpoint. I think we have about 15 minutes, so we're just gonna hang out. It stopped raining for a minute, so hopefully it stays that way. And then we'll get to see it. I think I hear it. It's coming. Woohoo! So today we're supposed to go to the Isle of Skye, but there is some bad news. We were supposed to take the ferry from right over there, and it was only gonna take 30 minutes to get to the island. But now apparently there's been like this crazy engine fire with the ferry that's blocking the port or whatever, so there's no ferries running. They canceled all the ferries. So the good news is that we can still drive to the island, but it's now going to be a 2.5-hour drive. So we're going to do it. We got up, we tried to leave early, but it was just too cozy in our room, so we've been sleeping. The other good news is that I finished my Winterfell beanie last night. This is just a draft. I feel like there's more that I want to do differently, but this is a good first draft, I feel like. But I'm excited because it'll be perfect for some of the hikes for the Isle of Skye, and hopefully can get some really nice photos. So I don't know, I'm excited. This is the chunky version with the fold-up brim. I think it looks pretty good. You tell me.
When I saw you walking down that hill, head high and shoulders back, watching you was such a thrill. All that I could do was laugh. I couldn't hold it back. I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold it back. We were running on that open shore, no saddle on his back. I never felt so free before. All that I could do was
Alright, I finished the body and both sleeves of my sweater. I was kind of hoping to get it finished to take like photos of it while we're in the Isle of Skye. Obviously that's not going to happen, but now I have to join them together to knit the yoke, which is like the upper part. I've never really had to do that before, so wish me luck. But I'm also trying to like look at the landscape and everything. And then there's like my internal debate of, if I finish it while we're driving, then what am I gonna do on the plane? Because I really only brought enough yarn for the sweater. I made the Winterfell beanie already, and then I have one extra ball, so debates.
Buy more yarn at the store.
Ooh. Oh yeah! Supposedly there is a yarn store in Portree, which is one of the main villages on the Isle of Skye. So hopefully we can find it, hopefully it's open, and then maybe I can get some Highland yarn. So let's do that too.
I couldn't hold it back. How could I hold it? I couldn't hold it back.
Cannot figure out how to get the yoke together. I need to look it up. I should have done that before, but it doesn't matter because we're here. I'm just so tickled right now. I think always I've loved like mythology and like the magical, mystical stuff. Like even as a kid, I just always wanted to go to Ireland and Scotland, or like to be Irish and Scottish. I'm really fascinated by it all, and I love the lore. So it's just super cool being here. It's beautiful. Everything here is just so magical, mystical, and I feel like I'm bringing all of my like inner child dreams to life right now. I think with the magical mystical, it's also like how people lived, like the lore, and you know, how they connected with the earth. And maybe that's also why I love knitting so much. Just like it's an ancient craft and you're doing something with your hands, and it allows you to just be in this very calm state. And I don't know if you're a knitter or if you do other crafts or whatever, but knitting, crafts like that almost like connect you with that time and these people. But you know, it's like how what they believed in, fairies and elves and that kind of stuff. It's like those are the things that I think are so cool and magical. And being in a space like this, out in nature, and then seeing that kind of stuff, it's just really cool imagining how those ancient peoples lived and the type of lore that they believed in. I don't know. I love it. Can't believe it's already our last day up in the Highlands. We got into our hotel really late last night. We're actually staying at this really cute little inn. It's like a house that's been converted into several ensuite rooms. But anyway, we are headed to see a castle today right by Loch Ness, and then we're gonna go see the Culloden battlefield and the Clavacairns, which is kind of like these historical sites. The Culloden battlefield, if you like Outlander, it's like part of the Jacobite rebellion stuff, so I'm excited to see that. I mean, it's full of history. And then the cairns are from ancient peoples and how they buried their people and like basically their tombs. So very cool stuff. And I also watched a video this morning about how to attach my sleeves to the yoke, so I'll probably have a chance to knit them on our way back to Glasgow. So I hope you've enjoyed coming along on the Highland tour and seeing my inner nerd come out. This stuff is all so cool to me, so I'm so excited that we're actually finally here. Well, I made a dire mistake. I did not realize that we needed reservations to go to that castle. So unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get to it, but there's this really cool little woolery up here. I just got a couple of skeins. She just does it from her house on this little farm out in the country. So yeah, of course I bought a couple of skeins of yarn.
Other ideas they intersect.
What's the angle? I'm not playing that game. It's the same business with a different name. Who's the target? Sorry, I'm not in the market. If I quit buying, you can't sell me anything. No thanks, I'll pass. I don't want any of that. I'll just take my chances. No thanks, not now. I made it this far somehow. I'll just take my chances.
Our time in Scotland went by way too fast, and because of some unforeseen things, we ended up having less time on the Isle of Skye and only had a day in Edinburgh before we had to make our way to Dublin to catch our flight home. The Highlands were truly a magical experience, and I do hope we get a chance to visit again and see the things that we missed. Travel has changed my life in so many ways, and it's even shaped the way that I run my business. I think it's why I'm so excited to get the chance to travel with you when I host my first group trip to Iceland in January. I really hope you enjoyed coming along on our trip to Scotland, and I did finish that sweater on the plane, by the way. Thank you always for being part of my community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you back in the studio.
Take